Jam.
Oh, you actually do sound sick.
Or do
Damn,
I?
bro.
It's
Yeah.
it's just the beginning, man. Wait for the cut.
Oh man, that's raw.
Yeah.
So wait. Bull market and flu. That's an interesting combination. Now I think about it.
Yeah, but to be honest, today I feel much better. Like yesterday, I wasn't able to look at the screen at all. Like I did the whole day,
Uh,
I just did nothing, and today I feel good enough to like, you know, do some work actually. Yeah.
you may have like. I mean, that could either be flu or COVID, to be honest. Because I know like initially with COVID, you feel like quite literally retarded, to be honest.
Like it could be COVID, but uh, I don't care and I'm not afraid. So like, yeah, whatever. I'm not going to, basically, I'm not going to a doctor. I just drink tea, do vodka shots in my kitchen, and I think I will get
Bro,
well soon.
vodka shot. Wait, isn't it like honey and rum or something, which supposedly like soothes the throat?
No, since I was a kid, my grandma was making a tea with like raspberries jam,
Oh
uh,
yeah,
ginger, like home honey, like the one from village, not from the fucking supermarket. Oh, sorry, because with a real honey and a bit of vodka. Also, she was
yeah.
making like a syrup of onion and vodka, but it was so disgusting. Like, bro, like no girl would kiss you for 3 days. The smell was horrible, but the next day you're like all good to go. Like back to back to life. But I don't have the onion syrup, so I just did the tea a few times, and I feel much better.
Yeah,
Yeah.
nice. Like good enough to trade or
Um, not
not
sure
yet?
it's good enough to trade. I did one trade last night, just before going to bed, and it was the smartest one. Like, I felt like aping 30x leverage if is a good
Oh, bro.
idea.
Why would you do that?
And after like 20 minutes, I decided, well, 20% loss doesn't look that bad, and yeah, I just went to
I was
sleep.
actually I was talking to an OG trader and like Twitter DMs, right? Like yesterday, and like something we're talking about is like how much traders mentality, especially in crypto, has changed, from like 2019, 2020 to like post 2021. Everyone became a lot more like degenerate, especially with leverage. So like the common leverage is like minimum like 25x. But like a lot of people trade like legit like 50x as their norm, right?
Yeah,
And then like that kind of conditioning over years, right, means you can just like ape something at like like 30x or 50x or whatever, right? And then like seeing it down like quite a lot, you like don't feel or think anything, so to speak. I don't know, kind of
you
just a
know,
funny conditioning.
Skew, like I think it's very much correlated with the dopamine addiction that is rising in the society. Like if you think of
Oh
the
yeah.
old brain rots videos, like you know, traders are just like other humans, and this is the dopamine. Like I talked to a trader who I know him quite well, and he had a gambling problem. So like when he trades
Really?
right, but when he went to casino, he was like going nuts. Like a few times, like did casino dirty, but also a few times he was down like 700k USD. Yeah, so
That's a
uh,
lot.
yeah, uh, and it's just dopamine addiction. And he told me like he literally had a dopamine rehab, and now he trades like full time. He doesn't do anything else in his life, and he's like okay. Like to be honest, I don't like perps trading. Like if you really ask me, I love trading spot. That's where I feel I'm good at. But as soon as I open any leverage, I feel unconscious. Like uh, I just don't like it. But from time to time, I like those dopamine rush. And on the Perpdex meta, there is a lot of money to be made. So currently, I'm
True.
quite involved in farming a few. Yeah,
Nice, nice, nice. Yeah, I mean, to be honest, I'll start with the first one. Spot and perp trading is obviously like very different between the two. And the biggest difference I would say isn't necessarily the leverage part, but the leverage does matter a lot because of positioning sizing. So like, you know, if you're used to spot trading and you're like full port or half port or something like semi degenerate, right? Doing that on leverage on perps is guaranteed to like blow up your account basically. And a lot of like, you know, spot only traders that especially chase a lot of metas and narratives and stuff like that, which you're used to and accustomed to overexposing early to get that maximum, you know, multiplier on the upside, you know, when like a token does like, you know, 20x, 50x, and so forth. Where on perps, it's a lot more sophisticated now, like significantly. Yeah, especially with like, you know, TradFi being in the space now, like, you know, basically 24/7. On perps, you see a ton of wicks, which you don't see on spot. And on leverage, that blows out a lot of people, especially retail. Which I
yeah.
can understand is probably the number one reason you don't like perp trading, right? Because that like wick out type nature.
Like, you know, with spot, I can actually like chill a bit, and with pairs, you
Yeah.
need to be constantly on the. And I don't like the emotions. Like, you know, every 1% with 5x leverage is 5% move. Uh, and I don't know why on spot I'm able to keep the profits, like, you know, to actually roll the ball further. But with perps, as soon as a position is in green, I feel like I want to close it just to book the profit, just to, you know, avoid
Ah, interesting.
the so. And with and
Is
that's
this
fun
like
because with losing, I don't have that problem with perps.
right?
Uh, yeah,
That makes a lot of sense because you know we're in a market that's dominated by companies like Pump Fund, right? And
yes,
everyone has a mentality of the quick gains and that whole dopamine type stuff, right? So then when you realize that like initial, you know, dopamine hit and then also the big gains of anything that's up like a lot, like 10, 20% or even more, you're conditioned to like close that pretty quickly, which
yeah,
makes a ton of sense, especially with spot trading. But like perps is a lot more tactical. Like, you know, I'm still in my 109k like long.
long, yeah,
Yeah, and I still think like basically my line in the sand. I'll change screens. My line in the sand is basically like losing around about where that wick is, right? Just like simply put it. In terms of like legit like exact price or whatever, 119k. It's like, you know, call it about there, right? If we, you know, start to trade below that with like heaviness and sell pressure and XYZ, that would be where I close out probably half the long. And given that, then I would essentially just wait for the next high low, and it could be, I don't know, like 116, 115, somewhere there probably. That's where I would then add in the rest of like my exposure, essentially.
yeah. I mean,
Yeah, so
I've
with
seen
like
that you're long, and that's a, like, you know, banger trade, to be honest. Uh, yeah, I'm very curious if we are actually going to break out of this, break out this resistance. But also CBS, like, you know, he tweeted, in a bull market, every resistance is like, you know, can very easily get broken through, and the line that you draw on the chart doesn't even matter. Yeah,
yeah, I mean it's like the line or resistance support is end of the day just consensus and confluence. Consensus because the market respects it because the market participants trade it as a psychological resistance, right? So then for like, and I do think there's like obviously a larger degree of bullshit with that kind of stuff, like support resistance, especially with like how I started trading, right? Which, you know, followed the same generic stuff like, you know, support resistance, right? But price would not necessarily respect it all the time. That's like why I use tools like this, because then I can actually see what the market is actually pricing, why it's pricing it, what does it mean for price, and whatnot. Like, you know, right now the blaringly obvious thing is spot, Binance Spot continues to sell into price, but also there's a clear passive buyer. So like whenever there's sizable selling, right, someone's buying into that.
Yeah, there is a question when copy trade Skew.
Should I actually set that up right? I've thought about it before, but also like the one thing I don't want to deal with is, you know, if I'm taking like a lot of intraday positions, which is like high risk AF, right? I don't want people to like ape in it and then the position gets stopped out and they like blow up their account or something like that.
I see. We can talk about it offline, I guess. Yeah.
But I mean, I could do copy trading with like can you do copy trading with a sub account? And then I could do that.
Yeah.
It's like swings.
Yeah.
I could do that then.
Yeah. Okay. Let's talk about it later. And now focus on the market. Whom do you think is the big buyer? Do you think it's Sailor again, or it's a new player based on the hours?
Honestly, the past few days, I think it definitely was probably Sailor, like you.
Okay.
Like when it started, like when it became like blaringly obvious. I mean, because like literally, this is someone TWAP buying the entire way up.
So there was a premium on Coinbase, yeah?
Yeah. That premium has gone down like slightly, like a few basis points here.
I see.
So I mean that could be something to look out for. I mean, we do have. Yeah, okay, so we pushed into 121, and then the market has also quoted the same, or if not more, ask liquidity back there. They've also stacked some up. Also, like you see this with this wall here, like the 100, and it changes. That's an spread, which can actually be utilized pretty well. So it essentially means like, if price accepts above 121k, right? And you have the right parameters for auctioning higher, which means going up, right? Then MMs will basically provide liquidity around 125k. And then typically with that, you get the, I don't know what to use, but you essentially get like large firms that become the big buyers, which leads price into those areas. And you get the same on the way down with like their market positioning. It's pretty obvious as well from like OI, especially on like large exchanges, because they'll just like exponentially, you know, open enterprise like that. Dude, we actually see people still shorting this. These are shorts. You can see them closing, which caused price to go up. Yeah, these are still shorts.
Interesting. Yeah, I've heard there is a lot of liquidity
Shorts
taken between like 120, 125k.
I would say there's probably growing liquidity to the upside now.
Yeah, it's a very very interesting place, I guess, because in one hand, if it's Sailor, the TWAP will be like, you know, finished soon, or it's already gone, and then sellers can take the initiative. But if there is so much of shorts,
well, if it's done, it'll go back down to here. It's like 0.3% ish.
Okay.
I don't think it's just Sailor. I think it's a combination of Sailor and probably ETFs. Where is my ETF tool? Yeah. Pretty large buyers. And these are like delayed by like a day, I think, as well.
Yeah, I've seen a tweet or a message, or I don't remember, that 1 bill inflows are coming, like, like tomorrow, or we'll see all 1 bill of inflows. But I don't know.
Oh, yeah, from iBit.
Yeah. I think
If that's true, it tends to mark like a temporary local top for like a week. If true, we'll see though. But yeah, I think what I want to look, or what I really want to look at, is see what is up. I find that's like super interesting because usually, and I put out a tweet yesterday that Bitcoin dominance moved up quite dramatically on the day, which resonates with obviously the price action between Bitcoin and alts, where alts are lagging BTC quite a lot, except like a few majors. And you can see it here, right? It's like there's a more of a mean distribution, right? Obviously, way more catered towards the coins being up about 5%, right, on average. But like there's still underperformance by like large means, which is interesting because typically when you see the whole market go up, as in Bitcoin, Sol, and ETH, right, the majors go up. This will be skewed towards like everything being up. There'd be like literally nothing red. So from first glance, that's very interesting in terms of 1 week performance. We can see this is also different and a clear clarification that BTC is in control as well as majors, is L1s are leading. Previous times it was memes. And memes and AI are actually underperforming at the moment, which is pretty damn strong support for BTC dominance. Yeah, I think I don't know where I put that tweet out, but yeah, this is interesting. What's a good meme coin we can use in reference? ETH, maybe. Wait, what's stronger, do you reckon? ETH or Sol?
ETH.
Probably ETH. I'll do this one.
I mean, they go like quite peak currently, almost, because what Solana from the bottom did, like from 190, 185, went to like 20, 230, 222.
Right.
Yeah, so it's about like 20% move. And if
Right.
3,800 to 3,500, it's also almost like 20% move. So it's quite similar. Like, if you can,
in terms of performance, yeah,
you can
return as well.
Sol if chart, but I'm sure the difference will be like within 5 or 4%.
Okay, yeah, it's pretty meh. I was just curious because what I like to do is compare, like, you go to the Bitcoin dominance chart, and then you just overlay, like, ETH, for example, which I'm doing here. And the reason why, let me turn that off, is you see how like dominance is capped by something here, right? On each like bounce as well. And you can see directly correlated with like ETH. There's typically some kind of bounce, right? And we can see ETH has had support this entire time. So it tells me the market is like Bitcoin's leading, and Bitcoin dominance has strength here in the near term, but the market is also positioning a lot more on alts as well. I mean, precursor to alt season, maybe. Cool. Total 3. That man's dying. Hey, you can't die before offline only, bro.
No, I won't die. I have too many stuff to accomplish in life.
That's the spirit, bro.
Yeah.
Yeah, I honestly, I really like what Total 3 is, excluding, BTC, ETH, and stablecoins. So like, this kind of area is very important in terms of valuations, right? And what's cool is in that massive pullback we had, right? It also remained like relatively strong. I would say probably mostly, like top 25, something like that, right? The higher valuations, like the higher weighted, the higher FDV, market cap and such like that. And let me move that a little bit. What I like to do with this is you see, like high, low, right?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I see
Not
that.
not in terms of TA, but in terms of the market accepting and then foreseeing higher values, essentially, right? So I think like with if BTC continues in the next, like today or next few days, or even like from weekly open of Monday, we see another lift towards 125 or something like that, right? We should see this jump towards about $1 trillion, probably just shy of $1 trillion. And that'll be at like massive level, because each time we've gone near $1 trillion, we saw a lot of like what the market deemed as overweight, like shit coins, I guess. Those would get sold. So then you see like these on the day, like big candles down, like where it'll wick like 5 or 10% or something insane. We saw it in 2021. We saw it in last year, as well as like briefly this year as well. I wouldn't be surprised to see that again, but I still think we're likely to see about $1 trillion. At least that's like my target when it comes to Total 3.
I wouldn't mind at all, to be honest.
I mean, who would, bro? I mean, higher prices for our bags, right? Like, obviously, everyone wants that.
Yeah. There is some hopeful for the mythical alt season that we had December, November last year. Actually, if you check that, like November last year was probably my best month ever, and it's
because it was just vertical, bro.
Yeah, the valuation, like the total market cap, is lower than what we are now.
It's about, I would say, the same, to be honest. It's like Total 3 hasn't really changed, but you'll notice dramatically in a shit ton of alts, the price is low. And that's for like 2 reasons: dilution and supply, basically. Aave was like one of the top performers, right? We can have a look at that. Well, basically, yes, like Aave is around the same, but it faces like obviously the same issues that I said before, right? Which is supply. So, I mean, honestly, it's not about consolidation in terms of like TA, right? It's like high lows, right? High highs. That was a failed. Like it's like a clean as hell SFP. Honestly, you have like the highs here. Grab liquidity, failed to auction higher, grinds back down to demand. So now we're seeing demand, right? And it'll probably like chop a little bit, but ideally you want to see price above like this high, so like 325, and then for that you can target probably 400. Oh yeah, Athland. Man, those were the days. Is he? Damn,
Yes,
he'd probably be like an RV whale then, because it was like before listing, I think, around then, right?
let me see the
That's
chat.
crazy. Oh man, do you remember? Okay, in early 2020, like April. So this is after the around the point of the lockdowns, but a little bit after. It's like April to like June was like DeFi summer, I think. Um, and everyone was buying like this like meme thing called Yams. I think it was like the first thing built on ETH or something like that in terms of like basically just farming APY, like just a random token you can like farm with essentially. And then like all these big other projects then created like legit ecosystems. You know, the biggest, most sophisticated probably was Curve by the end of it. But I mean, yeah, like those days were crazy. It's like a lot of the early games in the 2000s where you'd like have to farm and then you could like sell the gold and whatnot. I can't remember the game right now, but everyone knows.
I have no idea. So
Man, those are the days. I like legitimately every year I pray we get like another, I don't know, like kind of DeFi sort of summer.
yeah, I mean, uh, I was around during the DeFi summer, but more in the sense of like I was kind of into Harmony Chain that time. Uh,
Oh, I remember Harmony, bro. They
yeah,
were like one of the big ones, I think.
yeah, they were hacked by North Korea, and
Oh
uh,
yeah, and the
yeah,
treasury nuked.
yeah. Basically, the USDC there is worth like 11 cents or something. But bro, like crazy times. The farms there, like I remember a yield farm that was generating like 30% API, and you were just, the hot potato game, kind of like the from Phantom. What was the name?
There,
Tom
there were so many like
Tom Forks. Yeah,
yeah,
Tom.
yeah. There were so many like hot potato things. There was that one other one which you had to like buy like a bond, and then the token was like insanely high, and then eventually it all like kind of fell apart because of dilution, I think.
Yeah,
And then the token almost went to zero. That shit was insane.
I remember a friend from my village who was actually just the only guy that was in crypto. He got me involved quite a bit. Uh,
Oh yeah.
actually, yeah. So I remember he was saying he got like $100 or $50 per day from the farm, so he could basically at this point retire. And that was like 2 weeks
With 100, that's kind of funny.
because he has passive income and he can just live out of the $100 per day. Like, to be fair, in that village, like you could actually live with that money, but it was so funny. It was like literally a week before it collapsed.
Yeah, makes sense, dude. Every time,
Every time.
literally every time before one of those things blows off, you see people that are like comfortably just dumping their savings in there, and I'm thinking, what the fuck?
That's like
Uh,
100% accurate indicator.
yeah. At least like when it comes to like questionable infrastructure, which isn't sustainable.
Yeah.
But like to be honest, I mean, this is 100% a shitcoin, right?
Yeah, but I
But
kind of like the chart. Yeah.
yeah, I mean, like this, like long-term base structure tends to provide some really like insane rips.
Yeah. Well,
I
maybe
mean,
it's
from
time
I don't know,
to
like
full port Harmony One again.
but I mean, if we were to get a rep, you get like probably minimum 100 and I don't know, call it like 100 to 120%.
Yeah. The question is like, with such plays, even if the chart looks good, I always ask myself if it actually going to rip. Like, what will
Well,
other coins do, which are
I mean,
not.
this is the thing. Who's the buyer, right? That's the big question. And I've asked myself a million times when it comes to Sting, right? And the truth is, the buyers, especially for coins like this, right? It's usually two things: algorithms, primarily, and the second, some random whale in like some Asian country that just apes this thing and doesn't give a crap about risk or spread. So then he causes the rally, essentially.
Interesting. I didn't know about the whale thingy. Like,
Mm.
I can see it happening, like, for real, but I've never thought about it.
Yeah, like Bitcoin Cash is kind of the meme for like these whales. Like, you know, like a bunch of these massive rallies is usually caused by some whale just aping it.
Actually, this doesn't look bad, too.
Yeah, no, it actually doesn't. I mean, this kind of PA we call the Jocelyn Sun PA because we know this is one dude. This is one buyer.
Yeah.
Speaking of which, like literally, I bet you it's a carbon copy of TRX. I mean, pretty similar to be honest. Also, this is like, how is he even buying this? Is he just like borrowing from his own treasury to buy this, like over and over, like on like a loop? Wait, how much is this? Oh, bruh, 587%, bro. I should have long TRX. What am I doing?
Bro, there are so many obvious plays that I missed. Like, all the jokes, like copy pasta going on Twitter, like you missed Pump, you missed uh, Plasma, you missed Aster. Like, what the fuck are you doing in this space? I'm literally asking myself this question.
I mean, at the end of the day, you're here for the vibes, right?
Yeah, like, to be honest, at this point, yes, like, never stop clicking. Like, actually, at some point, the casino will pay you for being such a devoted gambler. Like, that's my idea.
GG.
Yeah, GG.
All right, let's get back to checking out the market. What the fuck is Polygon? I mean,
Paul,
I know ZK,
like,
OB,
it used to
OP.
be. It's Polygon. It used to be.
Ah,
They rebranded.
okay.
Like, they rebranded. It's not like the 200 Indian guys didn't deliver anything. It's for sure the problem with the name. Yeah.
Man, this industry's funny.
But it's top performance, like, bro. Like, why?
This is a cursed looking chart, to be honest.
Huh? If you want to see a cursed chart, just open Matic. Like, here you have just history from October.
Bruh. Why? I mean, we could do this, you know. I don't know. This doesn't even work. To be honest, it's so bad it doesn't even work.
Well,
I got to do like the proper like tinfoil hat TA shit. Where's that one line? You can like curve it. Uh, this I think. Yeah, like where like the YouTubers are like, if it breaks this curve line, it's gonna go to 1 million.
bro,
Oh man.
they make dozens of USD from referrals from Bybit. Like, I used to make fun of them until, like, I talk with one of them who, like, he told me like, bro, I don't even take those trades, and like he make like 80K per month. He's happy. Life's good.
Offer for that's crazy, man.
Yeah, one of Polish KOLs.
Oh yeah, makes sense. All right. All right, so L2s, L1s, leading, we like. DeFi. Also, you know what's really interesting here, right? L1's like flat, they're like flat-ish, right? But with any pullback, you can see it's like kind of cannibalizing the rest of the alts.
Actually, Sui looks good, if I remember well.
Actually,
Yeah, I think it looks really good on 850. Yeah, didn't you,
I do not remember when we charted this, but
like we chatted about it recently? I'm not sure like with whom I
probably
talked
like a
about it.
month ago. I'll go daily. Kind of. I mean, I could just move that down and then say that happened, but no.
Bro, like that's how you create content. That's the notion. Like, you didn't draw exactly like, but you showed the destination. Yeah, all I,
Yeah.
all I had to do is buy and sell. Yeah, like you literally told me which way it's going, and that's my fault. I didn't take this trade, and that's how you
Right,
earn
right.
money as a YouTuber.
Yeah, okay, well, okay, well. Also, yeah,
Crypto
check out this,
professor.
this comment. The Telegram trading bot referrals. I remember that. That was a huge matter in like early 2024, I think.
Yeah.
Like, especially with base, because you had a lot of like TG kind of bots, which then enabled people to like get access to base, and then like farm the memes and shit. Just gonna clean this up. Looks kind of messy. It's annoying me. The high time structure's good.
I don't have any exposure, and I don't like even think about buying it. But yeah, I don't remember why I thought it's a good chart. Like just a random thought in my head, kind of thing.
Is okay.
Oh yeah, and since we talk about QOLs, like next year I will actually nominate you for the QOL award of Token 2049. So you actually will
Well,
need to
what?
go and collect it.
Bro's forcing me to dox. That's funny.
You will dox yourself for the crypto award. And second year in
All
a
right.
row, the crypto professor won it. But I think you have some odds for the win next year. I will lobby for you. Not sure whom, how, but we're gonna make it.
I actually kind of wonder if I'm on that list. Like, how do they vote on that kind of thing? Is it like a populist thing or what?
No idea. No one knows an answer. Like a year ago, everyone was like, "Who the fuck is Crypto Professor?" And the second time in my life I heard of him was this year when he won it again. So yeah,
I've heard of him.
yeah, because he won the reward. Before that, I'm sure you haven't heard of him.
Wait, the crypto professor?
I don't know. He's a dude on YouTube. I think
Oh,
he
it's like a.
dreads or
Oh, that guy. Oh, no, it's a different dude. Interesting. Funny market. Yeah. Okay. So for Sui, I do like this kind of structure. It's like, you know, this was your key low, right? We had the markup, which is important. Then obviously the high as well, but didn't crack this high, which is also important. So essentially, right, price is in a bit of a tandem of consolidation. However, the like high time frame high lows look pretty good. Typically for this, I zoom out like a little bit to like higher time frames. Let me remove these as well so it doesn't look ugly on like a 3-day. Yes, like 3-day looks pretty good. My guess is going to be, yeah, so like a strong close back above, you know, basically $4 is extremely key, because once that happens again, you're quite likely to take out this high and probably target this high as well. It's like $5. And then at that point, you might as well break out. Especially if the rest of the market is running. You have pretty good odds of that. But yeah, not bad. And then I see Rec wanted me to check Arbitrum. Damn, we had a big consolidation above these key lows, which has been like rejected multiple times. Chopped here, broke down. Yeah, I mean, I probably wouldn't touch this until it's back above, I'd say, the pre-breakdown consolidation. That's typically a really nice area to aim for. So, you know, call it like 50 cents, 49, 50 cents-ish.
Okay, but like, I need to leverage your answer. Like, why would you touch it?
Why would I?
Yeah.
Okay, so
I
it's pretty simple. Like if price grinds back above, right, and then it starts consolidating here, it's basically there's two ways to think about it. Like the smooth brain way is this is like a bot, right, and then like as well as like here, right, that was just like chop essentially, and this was just chop below, right. So the value hasn't actually changed if it trades back above it, like the same place it broke down, right. And then looking forward, right, is to your question, like why would you buy it or be long it, right? Simply because it's, you know, reclaimed a level the market respects, right? And then if you know, then use like order flow type tools and you see the market is bidding it and there's like bullish positioning behind it, and it typically just becomes like an easy position to take, at least in the short run, and you essentially just capture any upside. So there's like a difference between long-term spot holdings, right, opposed to just taking a trade on perps to capture and move up.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, that's probably the issue. I don't like to hold dog shit. And
yeah. So you don't have to do that. Like that's the cool part. Because obviously with like dog shit and holding it in spot, you're forced to realize the loss if that occurs, you know, without using stop losses and stuff like that, right? Whereas on perps on low lev, like 2x, 5x, something like that, you can like lever up on some absolute dog shit. Like the one that I put in Telegram yesterday.
Manta. Yeah.
What was it? Mantle?
Manta.
Oh, Manta. Yeah. Yeah, like this chart is cursed there, but I took it from was it like here, this wick, I think. And like, yeah, essentially like in the screenshot, these are like my targets, right? So it's absolute ass, like this token. But the one thing that works in my favor is, we have a really long period essentially where this low is respected, right? And then essentially just have the stop below that. Obviously, like the amount of like your positioning for this matters a ton. So I'm using like really low initial size just to have exposure to it, and then when it starts running, I add into that. And the reason why I do that is so I minimize any like absolute losses that I may take. As well as like, it's pretty obvious if these lows are reclaimed, which ironically, a nice confluence, price is rejecting at the moment. So if price were to regain that kind of in some way, in some form, right? That would then be my confirmation to then add my actual size into that. And then like, target liquidity above these highs. So like either way, it's like a 25% move or something like that.
I made a note for myself. Once this plays out, I will create a reel of it and post on Twitter. We told you. I mean, we like. I also need to marketing of my profile, but
Oh yeah. Well, if this plays out.
yeah, like we told you. Like, I didn't say much, but yeah. Some from my side, do you want to show any other chart that you are currently interested in?
Yes. Obviously the other's dominance continues to like grind low. That's why alts are performing like pretty shitty at the moment. Like comparatively to when memes and AI was doing really well, right? So you can clearly see that in August, right? And then we have the opposite now because Bitcoin is king, right?
Yes.
So essentially, how you trade this is you wait for the breakout of Bitcoin before you like ape into shitcoins and memes and AI and stuff like that, right? Simply because that's when it'll be like easy money because you just like ape in and then market goes vertical, right? At the moment, it's a lot more likely to be pretty damn choppy for alts, except like a few that have narratives. Or like majors, which is ETH and Sol, probably BNB, coins like that. I can actually go into the majors now as well. So, this is a super key area. I want to see how we consolidate here. If there's a pullback towards like POC of the of this value area, it's like 4.3, 4.2, which is also the lows. I would definitely add in some there. I mean, honestly, for now, it's basically just observe, see how market consolidates. If there's a pullback and the market is still bullish, same as TradFi, we're going to need that as well. To actually, I think, like legitimately to like run in Q4, we're going to need equities to be decent in Q4 too. Otherwise, I wouldn't be surprised if it's more lackluster kind of performance. Very key detail though. Sol's not bad. The only thing we don't want to see is a lower high here for Sol. Otherwise, it's going to go all the way back down to like 200. That'll be rough as heck.
Yeah, I still have my spot to dump, so I'm watching this chart.
Yeah.
But hard to say when actually it will form lower high. Like I guess if we don't start pumping here, that's basically it.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, I honestly I don't really want to see a reversal. Like if this is a bearish engulfing like by tomorrow, I'm probably gonna like cut my soul positioning, to be honest. Hmm.
But it's
Yeah, this is big day for
but
soul.
no one seems like no one is front running the
The DATs.
yes and the Sol ETF. Like the due date is like literally I don't remember 2-3 weeks ago away.
Yeah, I think there's like honestly massive underpositioning to it. But also there's a ton of skepticism around like who's actually going to buy it, like who's going to put money in it. Essentially, one positive argument is Wall Street is warming up to the idea of like yields, like APY type products, and they've done like fairly well. The ones that have been running already have done like pretty well, I think. So it might be the case of it takes time to mature for the market to then really expose into it over time. I do think like holding spot long term makes sense, especially for like a huge narrative like that. As well, like obviously Sol has correlation to Bitcoin, so whenever BTC does well, Sol does decently well too. Other than that, not sure exactly what else to.
GM.
GM stirs.
GM.
GM.
All right.
Is this another all-time low? It is for BNB.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think like that was probably the dip, and then BNB will run. we might see a bit of a trade where when there's Bitcoin weakness, you see BNB run. It's like rotation between Bitcoin and BNB. That might be that kind of trade.
And Skew, that now you're showing BNB on the pullback from 844. You marked it too. And so that pullback and reclaim, yeah, that one is actually like almost carbon copy of that one. Yeah, it's like, and I've got recently a couple questions like why BNB is running and so on, and I think it's worth to mention that since the whole market is catching a bid, which generates traffic, volume, and fees, and BNB is a Binance Exchanges coin, right? So
yeah.
Obviously, I'm not sure. You might have some more detailed thoughts how it's going, being rotated back into the asset itself. But you guys can like test when there is a trending market. So when there's like big volume days and weeks, you can see that BNB always perform well in those periods.
Yeah, because I think you need to hold like a lot of BNB to get low fees. So they have a lot of like decent tokenomics when it comes to the utility of Binance, which positively impacts BNB. And then like furthermore, when you see ecosystem growth, which I think Binance has at the moment, as well as like narratives like Asta and the correlation, that kind of relationship between Binance and Asta does well for like Asta's token, but it does well for BNB as well. As well as I think some kind of meme season or something like that I saw on BNB at the moment. There's something like that. I mean, I could be mistaken on that, but that would be a narrative which also is positive for BNB, and then just for like traders who don't really care about that stuff, they'll just trade like simple trends, and as long as like BNB remains in an uptrend, where there's simple signals like this one, right? Traders will position accordingly.
Excuse me.
All good.
Makes sense. Yeah, makes perfect sense.
Yeah. How Doge? I was gonna say how memes doing, but I kind of already know they're underperforming like massively. Okay, so this was distribution. This also was all of this. Then we had that rally in September. Went below it briefly. Now we're back above it. So I guess we want to see some kind of consolidation for a little bit on Doge. Yeah, to be honest, if there's a really nice bullish consolidation, we have like, you know, nice base of lows here and like higher highs moving up. Also generally price like kind of curves up like that with that kind of consolidation. If there's that, I think that'll be such a good runner.
If we talk
That's
about
something.
dollars and meme coins, could you check Fartcoin next?
Oh yeah. I added some stink bids for this one, by the way. Wait, was this? No,
Yeah,
it's
it's Fartcoin.
no, I'm looking for the Bybit chat, I think it was, which has.
Oh, okay.
Oh yeah, so clearly I didn't. I mean, I expected a bit of a puke, but recovery. We've had this puke. Timing was off, but we had the puke now, right? And what we want to see is that recovery. So, you know, we're actually trading within trend now. Price action looks pretty meh, but not really surprising. So what you want to see with this is like a consolidation, and then it move up like that, essentially. Yeah, so I'm just gonna see if there's like a bullish consolidation into like next week or next like 2 weeks ish on Filecoin, and if there is like high lows, high, yeah, I'll get some exposure into it.
Yeah, I'm trapped in the trade. I have on average entry probably around like 83, 80 cents. Yeah.
Not too bad. I mean, you'll be fine. Like, you know, if this turns back up, because then basically your like entries are around support.
Yeah. That's the average, like after averaging it down.
Yeah.
Yeah. I really want to see it like performing. My thesis is like it's one of a few funny memes, like actually funny, and the rest is meh. But like you know, I really like the rallies that are fueled by hate, like XRP. Let's say like
Well, they tend to rip the hardest.
exactly, and Fartcoin will always be on the spotlight because every time it pumps, people will be like, "Oh, Fartcoin is pumping. It's a token that says fart." It's so retarded. This is why the space is not serious. And
Right.
yeah, and it goes higher and higher and higher. That's why I like the token. XRP doesn't look bad. Like I've seen a tweet today that if it breaks out, then it goes like $5. I think CBS tweeted.
Yeah, it'll probably pull a vertical move like that and then consolidate, and that's where we see a ton of positioning above like 3.253 ish probably. Also literally just waiting on Bitcoin to fucking do something. That's it. It still looks fine, honestly, with like this type of close. This looks good. It's above the value area high. We could see a bit more chop. Maybe an attempt to push down towards 118 over a weekend. If there's that, I'm definitely getting in. I'm basically just like trading as it comes and goes, keeping it pretty flexible in terms of my like risk taking. Like I'm not being too degenerate, but also when I see a good opportunity, I'm sizing sufficiently enough to capture like good gains.
No, reasonable. Yeah, and what a perfect retest of the value area high, right? So I was
I'm actually
just
surprised by
getting in.
that, to be honest, because it's
Yeah,
never that
I
close.
was getting in on that when I was beating that. You know, I'm more like a short-term player, so I'll see how the session goes. I just checked the flows from the week, like monster flows from both from BlackRock and Fidelity. Obviously, no surprise here.
Yeah. Who do you think the big buy was earlier in the week? I like we both reckon it was probably Sailor and ETFs.
Most probably. Well, I'm pretty sure. Yeah.
Like, because we can see the Coinbase premium jumped quite a bit as well for this.
Yeah.
Bro,
pretty much the whole round.
Like, I didn't have much inputs.
And yeah, interestingly, not unlikely earlier. So there's a clear Coinbase premium, Coinbase taker bid, like because I think in more peaceful markets you see more dominant passive buyers from Coinbase when CVD is down, but prices grinding up higher. But this was a clear taker bid and market buy, open market buy.
Yeah, which is typically only two things: Sailor and ETFs. If not, who's the new buyer?
True.
There's always going to be probably a new buyer, to be honest, just in different periods of like Bitcoin's history, especially after ETFs.
And what do you think about? And I know we talked
I'm
about
running
it.
out of energy, to be honest.
We can wrap it up.
Yeah.
As well. Like
Yeah, I mean not yet, but like giving you a heads up that probably in like 20 minutes it would be great if we.
Yeah, of course.
Yeah, nah.
Sorry.
Yeah, no,
I reckon we'll do like 10 minutes of like closing conversation essentially.
Yeah. And the only one topic I just wanted to bring up, and I don't know, maybe I missed why you guys were talking about it. The Asia session spoofing we talked about in another chat, which is kind of interesting. And you also shared a couple really good insights what and how they are operating. Because it's like really good market nuance, I think, to observe.
Yeah, that's a good point. We didn't actually talk about that, but like from what I've noticed, whenever you see that kind of like the spoofing and bids being quoted, like it started. It always starts before a move. You see like these huge bids basically just appear below or above price, right? At the same time as well, you'll see price break a level, whether it's support or resistance, like here. All right, like 109 or 110 ish, like roughly, right? And then you can see long positioning into that, right? So I think my conclusion, besides just random spoofing, which doesn't really impact price, right? You can kind of usually ignore that. But when it impacts price and there's positioning with the move, which impacts price more, right? Like here and not necessarily here, but there was one move on the way down. Yeah, like here-ish. You see that, and then you see like shorts opening into price on the way down. That's when it's really important because that's when it's tradable, right? In terms of it being like Asia session, the only logical conclusion that I can draw to that is it's probably a firm in Asia which has an office in New York City, right? So they can manage this kind of positioning in both sessions. Plus, they're aware of something coming in the US section, right? So then they can front run that. That's the only like logical reasoning for the positioning and the mass spoofing on price.
No, yeah, I definitely, and it's very visible with a different indicator on Trading Light that once the session is open, the US cash session, they all go or the spoofs are switched off. So basically, they're and then once it's over, once it's closed, they are coming in and just quoting above and below price before catalyzing a move.
Interesting. We've seen algorithms like this before, actually, in after hours trading on ES. But I'm pretty sure they got banned.
Yeah, I think it's banned there. Yeah, I'm pretty sure.
Yeah, I mean, eventually they're going to get blown out by someone during Asia session. Like them, whoever's assuming they're going to get away with it forever is smoking crack, because they won't. Do we have any economic crap coming today?
The government is shut down, so the labor data might not arrive in time today. But I don't know. We'll need to see.
I have a.
There's literally no time on this. What the
No
fuck?
time. Okay, then yeah, it's gonna be halted. Yeah, I thought so. Interesting.
I wanted to ask because I already mentioned that in chat about my thesis on base season. But before I cover that, could you check hype chart? It looks again
Hype,
interesting. Yeah,
does it look good now?
It seems like it's getting rejected by the current resistance, but it's just like every other position in the market. Like it's literally it depends on the wide market, in my opinion. But yeah, I like trading this coin, so
It's trading around previous resistance, like you said. Yeah. It's like key high. Then obviously once we broke it, we swung up, right? Now we're back testing it here. So this kind of consolidation will be, probably fairly choppy. But also we have like a nice trend forming underneath it. So this looks, I would say, more on the bullish side. The only like worrying thing that I think right here is the lack of momentum behind the moves up. Like this was instantly retraced, right? That could be the correlated heaviness across alts in general to Bitcoin, right? I mean, yeah, other than that, yeah, keep an eye on it, honestly.
I mean, I don't have an exposure to it. I sold everything and bought Fartcoin, so pretty bad move so far, but let's see. Yeah.
I kind of want to watch this because I actually want to get a long in.
I mean, I'm in a very
if this is
long
like
right now.
if this is a bullish consolidation, then I'm like pretty sure, this whole grind down just gets vaporized. I mean, it'd be in a shop, probably something like this, if it was to move up. As well as only start of October at the moment.
Alrighty, so I don't like that the resistance is basically like we trade around it with really small volume. Like every breakout before was like with bigger
High volume.
Yeah, high volume.
That'll come. Like these things come when the whole market moves up, kind of thing.
Yeah. Yeah. So here's my thesis that I'm thinking about recently, and it's pretty simple. So there are the rumors of Base launching its token, and that leads to airdrop potential. Blah blah blah. It's not decided yet, but a rumor is more than enough to start a narrative. And I think the next narrative can be Base. And I'm currently trying to position into that, being like, one step before the market. First, if you could check the AERO, AERO.
It's an old token.
It's the main DEX on Base, but I think you have the wrong chart, to be honest. I'm looking at it at DEX Screener.
DEX Screener?
Yeah. like the shitters that I'm going to say are
What is Aero?
so
Oh, Aerodome?
Aerodome, yeah, it's the biggest DEX on base basically.
I'm pretty sure that is Aerodome. Sure.
We don't see or yeah, it is, but the Bybit spot history is pretty short. That's what I meant.
Okay.
Yeah. Yeah, so I don't have a position in that. Basically, for me, it's a chart to watch, eventually take a perp trade if you are a perp trader. But this is, in my opinion, going to be like, a benchmark for the whole ecosystem. Yeah. So
Right.
us,
So you get exposure to Aerodome because it's the first DEX based on base.
I don't have
If there's
any
going to be
exposure. I don't have an exposure. It's basically a chart that I'm watching if my thesis is playing out. Like this is, I'm going to take trades that can give me like 20x, 10x, 5x. I'm not interested in like, a few percent move or like 50 or 40% move. So this is like a benchmark. If this looks good, then my thesis is more likely to happen basically.
honestly, I'd probably just get a bot on base. And then if you like know what the tick is going to be or something like that, you have the bot look for that listing essentially. Like the problem I have here with Aerodome, it's already a bill market cap, which means it's super difficult to get a 10x on this.
Yeah, exactly. But again, it's a benchmark for me. So I look at it like you look at Bitcoin when you play the white market, yeah, because it's the leader.
Right.
So I am using that as a leader, and it doesn't look too bad for me. Like it's consolidating with lower lows and highs, but I see a world where it breaks through. And what I'm actually started to position yesterday, I sent you the DEX screener yesterday, but you can type it is Giza, Giza, on DEX screener. So it's like stable coins, base, AI, and DeFi narrative. G
This-
like GG, but one letter G. Sorry. Need to learn alphabet finally. Yeah, that's the first one. Yeah,
26 mil. Okay.
yeah, but the FDV
Yeah,
is
so
quite high. But the investing is just getting started. There weren't any like major.
agents enabling user-centric markets,
Yeah, so they are pretty like basically it's like AI
algorithmic agents.
algorithm that optimize yield in DeFi. So I see it as a narrative playing out for TradFi and now with stable coins. Also, I'm quite happy how quickly they execute because they are already on Plasma. That's another chart that we forgot to mention. And check. So yeah, I haven't entered with size yet, but it's definitely something I keep my
What's
eye
Plasma's ticker again? It's like X something.
XPL.
Thank you.
But the best way is probably DEX screener and hyperliquid UXPL. The most of the tokens are there, and the most of spot volume is happening there. But yeah, you do you.
Yeah, true.
Like literally,
Yeah, it looks like it's doing the usual, like when you get a CX listing, it bleeds. We had that capitulation wick here. Someone nuked spot books and then it wrecked a bunch of perps. Like here. This should be an area which the market tries to hold, in my opinion, like about 85 cents. If we break that, I mean, yeah, we could, like this thing's gonna nuke. probably all the way back down here.
Interesting.
Yeah.
Yeah, you have a lovely TLAP out of if you put on H4, like literally printed like I don't know, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. 10 red candles in a row.
Yeah, I wonder who that is.
Oh. Yeah.
By the way,
Probably,
in terms
I
of
don't
the
know,
labor
investors.
data or the absence of labor data, I was just wondering if market is going like,
I don't know how the market's going to trade that. I got no idea, bro.
yeah, because they might go risk on full because there is no labor data which could kind of rag the positions.
Maybe. I think we're more likely to see the absence of trading, to be honest. Like lower liquidity, probably, until Gov shutdown ends. That would be my guess, because if you think about it, the market's like blindly flying here. Has anyone said anything about payrolls coming out or not?
Can you say it again? Sorry, I got distracted by a message.
Has anyone said anything on X about payrolls coming out or not?
Didn't see any specifics, to be honest, at least yet. But I'm sure there's going to be development over the days. But it's an interesting situation, though.
Interesting, huh?
Also checking the books at the moment. Yeah, I mean the purpose one seems like a little bit like positioning to the upside. Obviously, like I see us
Oh, well,
getting sold, at least on
on
Binance.
BTC.
Yep, for BTC. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, if you look at it on the lower time frame, these are actual shorts.
Yeah, that was ridiculous. Shorting into that. Yeah.
I think a lot of people are assuming they're longs, but I'm pretty sure these are all shorts.
Yeah, trying to fade, which I don't think it's a wise at the moment.
I don't know if they're baiting. I reckon someone, because if you look at the timing of the short, right, it's the same, literally the same when someone dumped a bunch of spots. So like someone sizable's shorting the market here. I don't know. Maybe someone is expecting a pullback, and then they become the huge passive buyer, which leads to higher low, or someone's going to get blown out on the way up. It only ends either way.
Either way, it goes really ugly, to be honest. But the other thing I wanted to point out is the daily close yesterday above 120, right? I don't think we have had so many daily closes above 120, and that's kind of
we haven't only one.
Yep. So definitely something to note in terms of the the shift and the auctioning higher, of course.
Yes.
Yeah,
Yeah, so above, we only had literally that.
And the other thing I would be looking at is a weekly close above 120. That's also like on a weekly chart, it's like a pretty obvious resistance, 120. So I think that would probably trigger a lot of fresh positioning, I think.
Maybe. What do you think of this? I have done this before. This sometimes works. So this was the 1 day high, which we closed above 120. Hypothetically, this could be the consolidation range. It's like, yeah, one 119 to 123 or 124 ish. That could
No,
be
I
the
think
range of chop.
why it could work. I often look at this. So that 4 hour candle, not for sorry daily. I think that was an impulse. So I use
It
some
was.
type of impulse indicators, and that was an impulse candle, which are usually good, providing good levels. Their range due to the high volume traded volume, right? So that makes sense.
Mm.
Perfect sense.
Man, this is going to be an interesting. I mean, I'm
Week.
actually somewhat hyped. I'm rarely hyped about the market, to be honest. But yeah, I think this is actually a time to pay attention and be active in markets. Because like either way, if this breaks up, you're going to make a lot of money. And then if this is also a false, like a lower high on like a high time frame, then you're going to print off shorts as well.
I fully agree. So that's and I mean, what a week, right? So BTC, like BTC is doing BTC things because it's like so hard to get on board if you're not already in from lower, barely
Yeah,
through, right? Insane strength in terms of 4 hour charts and structure. It's just
agree.
nuts.
Agree.
And I think so last Friday we talked briefly, and the low, the higher low, essentially, and maybe on daily. So on 109, yeah, that was I think the 1 week 41 EMA. I think if you put that on, and I think that
Interesting.
that got bit twice already. So the previous local low from 107, that was also the 1 week 21 EMA, as I recall,
Yeah,
which was
this
expected.
we kind of talked about it last week because it was like literally like bounce or death for the market.
Yeah,
I think we like briefly talked about maybe this is the fucking bear trap, and that probably was
true,
it, to be honest.
true. It was. Yeah, I recall. Yeah, damn. Yeah, very nice.
I think probably time to wrap up before Michael dies on stream.
Yeah,
Yeah.
please.
Apologies for joining late, and yeah, Michael,
Oh, good.
torturing you.
Good. I just, my batteries are dying, basically. I'm going for a nap. Yeah, thank you guys for today. And as always, thank you, Skew, for your insights, and Richard, that you join us in the end of the day. Yeah, have a lovely evening or afternoon, wherever you're based. Yeah, and hopefully we go higher, as always.
Yeah, take care and be responsible with your positioning.
Yeah, don't get blown out for up on it before the up only goes.
Yeah, being responsible isn't a strong side.
I mean, yeah, you're the DJ of the group, so true.
Yeah, but I mean, I learned my lesson. Now I'm 20% in stables, but I decided not
Nice.
to ape in any stupid stuff anymore. I mean, like, I'm not.
He's learning. Let's go. He's a reformed DJ.
I mean, trying. Like right now, I have 25% underwater fartcoin position that I feel very comfy with. So I wouldn't say like it's the best.
I'm pretty sure I'm like decently like underwater on that. What's that stablecoin name again? Like X something. I forget the name like all the time. I'm underwater on that.
Plasma?
XPL. Yeah.
XPL, bro, I'm underwater on that shit too, but fortunately not size. Like a friend of
Yeah,
mine
true.
told me to buy, and I bought at like 1.5. And I'm like,
Oh my! Wait, you bought 1.5?
yeah, but
Holy fuck!
Damn.
yeah,
God damn!
yeah. I bought like 2K, so it's not that bad. I still hold it, and he made like 1.5 mil on the trade. Like it's quite likely he's listening to us now, so GG, sir. Yeah, and then I forgot to close the position basically. So it's kind of funny. Yeah. Anyway, thank you guys.
Thank you so much. Always a pleasure.
See you guys next week.
Talk to you next
Cheers.
week.